Hey guys, welcome back to Screen Syndicates. Today we are breaking down Spider-Man Brand New Day, the number one movie in the world, the highest grossing movie of all time in opening weekend, which I am shocked about.
Yeah.
And it's critically loved by the fans and the critics. So today we are breaking that down in full spoiler fashion. Pete, we just saw the movie together. We
Yes, we
had our
did.
live theater reaction coming out. It's been a couple days. How did the movie sit with you, and what is your current ranking right now?
So the movie sat with me better than I thought. I thought I was just riding a high of Spider-Man, but the more I think about like just all the shots, everything that happened in the movie, and just watching people break down like even some little Easter eggs and stuff that I missed, I'm sitting at a 9.5. I really
Wow,
enjoyed it.
9.5. That's a monster score.
I love the movie.
So, a question for you. This is just a broader one.
Uh-huh.
Is it the favorite movie you've seen all year?
Oh, it's really tough. Odyssey's like a better, well-rounded movie, better shot, really good
Hmm.
story, great actors, of course. It's just Spider-Man hits home for me, as you can see. Like I just love Spider-Man. So like to see them crush it, and he's in New York, like fighting all these villains. We get
Mhm.
some teases to the X-Men and an X-Men character. We get Hulk, Punisher. I just loved it.
Gotcha. So, for me, the movie did sit really well. I gave it, I think, a 7.5 when I walked out. I'm at like an 8 right now.
Okay.
So, like, I think this is a great movie. I don't think it's a all-time great movie in my head.
Okay.
And getting into just, I guess, my major gripe with the movie, it comes down to the villain. So, like, Jean Grey technically is the villain, but she's also not really a villain. The main villain, I'd say, is what's the department called? The
Oh, the damage control.
damage control. Damage control. That guy's technically the main villain. That's my biggest gripe with the movie because, like, when I think of my like beating the villain and like that satisfaction at the end, I didn't feel that personally, and that's what I felt was missing from it being an all-time great movie for me at least. Everything else, I don't really have many complaints.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair. I feel like that's literally the only reason I was at a 9 originally and a 9.5 now. I the villain's not super satisfying in the end, but I think especially me going into it, I didn't know she was going to be in the movie, so I think
Oh, that's huge.
that hit a lot harder. Like I wish
Hmm.
going into it, I didn't even know the Hulk was going to be in it because I could just imagine sitting down and watching that and hearing like it's supposed to look scary, like they're walking through the big
Yeah,
skyscraper, don't know who's there, and imagine you see Hulk for the first time and don't know he's in the movie, like as
you're a
uh
million percent right. That would have made that scene even better.
dude, it would have hit so hard. Like I'm kind of jealous
Even
of anybody that went in not knowing.
100%. Even if like you didn't know Punisher was in the movie, like if you got that
Yes.
early scene of him riding in the van, you're like, "Holy shit, that's Punisher!"
Yeah.
That would have hit.
I get why they show it for like marketing and it really is
Yeah,
that extra push to sell it and might be why it's
clearly it worked.
crushing. Yeah. So sadly, we're probably always going to get stuff spoiled after this.
Yeah, and I avoided most trailers. I watched the first one,
Hmm.
and then there was just TV spots that would come out. Like I'm watching TV or YouTube ads or on Twitter, and you just see Hulk, and I'm like, okay, so Hulk's in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. There's no avoiding it nowadays. Especially, dude, this is the movie that I've seen the most ads and like partnerships with. Like
100%.
I walk into Target, dude. I can't. There's Spider-Man liquid IV. There's Spider-Man soda. There's Little Caesars, dude. There's like everything is like Spider-Man brand new. Samsung, dude. BMW. I'm just seeing commercial Spider-Man. I'm like, this shit's actually crazy.
It is. And again, to our point earlier, I, I didn't expect this movie to be as big as it was.
Me
Like, I
either.
don't know, the buzz, like with Spider-Man No Way Home, you felt the buzz. Everybody
Hmm.
was like, are they going to be in it? This is like, you got that sense. With Endgame, you felt the buzz. With this one, I'm like, people are excited for this, but I wasn't like, I'm not hearing the randoms lining up to go, but all the randoms bought tickets and went.
Oh yeah, people showed
So
out.
I wanna hit you with a stat that I saw. So this movie is the highest grossing opening weekend movie of all time.
That's insane.
The previous movie was Avengers Doomsday. The second highest earning movie that weekend earned $8 million. This weekend, The Odyssey made $51 million. So it was the biggest box office weekend in the movie's history. Most people ever went to the movies this weekend.
Wow, Tom Holland and John Bernthal got me riding in Zendaya a high like no other. Know that you got
unbelievable.
That trio is the reason that the movie theaters had their best grossing weekend in history. Has got to feel insane.
Yeah, their agents are just sitting there like
Yeah.
Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, exactly. Ka-ching! You're not getting Tommy Boy and Zendaya and John for less than $100 million.
100%. Good for them. And then Zendaya also has Dune coming out at the end of the year, which is they're killing it. She's
Dude,
absolutely killing it.
That's got to be the craziest year of movies for one actor.
100%. She's gonna have the best box office year of all time. Like not even close.
Do you think Spider-Man gets any recognition at like any award shows or anything for that?
They should get nominated for best visual effects. And that's the only thing I can think of that'll probably get nominated for.
Yeah.
But it was a high quality made movie. Like the movie was it was visually so crisp. Like the action scenes were great. And it was a long movie. It was like 2 hours and 20 minutes, but every scene and character felt like it had a purpose.
Yeah, no, there was not a point in time where I felt like, wow, this is like a slow part or this is pretty boring. It was like quick, snappy, like action or super important dialogue, and it was good.
Yeah, because there wasn't even like there probably was looking back, but like there wasn't the movie wasn't action.
No,
it was a lot of dialogue and just character moments, and honestly, some of those were the best part of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what the Spider-Man movie did so well. Is just like that human connection to Peter Parker, especially as like an adult. And the first time he's like not with the Avengers or really has anybody looking after him, like Aunt May, of course, Tony Stark. Like they always are happy, always had somebody looking over him. It's like the first time he's like just doing his thing by himself, going through the world.
100%. I got to shout out Tom Holland killed it as an actor in this movie. He gets some hate sometimes as an actor. I thought he did unbelievable in this movie. I felt the loneliness in him and like the burden he was wearing, but he also kept up the happy-go-lucky Spider-Man like to the people. He absolutely killed it in this movie.
He really did, and I think that's why it's sitting so well with people. Is like everybody can relate to it. Nobody can be Spider-Man or a superhero, but everybody can relate to that so well. Of whether it's their early 20s or a young adult in their late teens, like everybody's kind of related to that.
Something they did so well too in this movie is they kept it. You said it in your initial talk, like an in-city small Spider-Man movie. Like it wasn't grand scale. It wasn't like it was in like how Yelena says small potato versus big potato problem. And like
you actually crushed that. That sounded really just like her.
But so like she was right in that scene. Like it was like a small New York City held issue, and I love that. Just it still had stakes, but like it didn't feel like the world was gonna end.
Yes. And I feel like that's what like every good Spider-Man, like looking back at it, kind of did. Like Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1, it was never huge grand scale, but it affected Peter on such a personal level, and that's why it hit harder with all the Spider-Man movies.
And 100%, but something like it was throwing me off a little bit, and it's nothing but my fault because I picture Spider-Man as a top dog, but then like when you think about it in reality, he's not that big of a top dog. He's a top dog in the box office, and people love. But when it comes to like powers, he really isn't. That's what I loved. I want to get into this. So my favorite scene in the whole movie was the Hulk sequence.
Yes.
When you got real Hulk, then the Punisher coming in, absolutely killed me. My testosterone levels went through the roof during that
Yeah.
scene. And he's just, I literally was sitting next to you. I felt us get a little half chub.
Yeah. No, for real. I was like glued. I was like, that is so awesome.
So like that was my favorite scene in seeing the Hulk. But something I was worried about, I'm like, damn, Spider-Man's beating Hulk's ass. But it was kind of when he was like Professor Hulk. So when
Yeah.
he turned to real Hulk, I was like, Spider-Man should never beat Hulk.
Yeah.
And he didn't, which I absolutely loved.
And I love that he used like what Spider-Man would do, like when he was on his back, when he was getting
Mhm.
slammed and then stuck to his back and Hulk's looking around. That
Yeah.
part like seems like such a Spider-Man thing, and when he's swinging out and wrapping him up, like that's the only stuff he really could do, and he tried to make it work and it ended up not. So I
Yeah.
think they portrayed their power scaling like perfect.
They really did. That and like seeing the size of Hulk, and I think the whole purpose. Some people said they wanted more Hulk, and I get it. I kind of did too. But the whole purpose of that scene was for the MCU. Actually, I want to get into a bigger talk
Hmm.
because this is a minor gripe I have. They've done this in a couple Spider-Man movies, but with Tom Holland. Did you feel that this movie was too much MCU setup versus individual Spider-Man movie, or did you think that balance worked for you?
For me personally, I think that balance was perfect. I think it was the best
Mhm.
they've ever done it in a Spider-Man movie, because especially even thinking about Homecoming, because I just watched it yesterday with my girl, and there is so much MCU. It's like that. It feels like Spider-Man's in just an MCU Avengers Iron Man movie. There's so much
Mhm.
Iron Man. There's so much Avengers Tower, what's going on, and just talking about even the first Avengers. And I don't know, I think this movie did a great job of, it seems like a comic book, because like Spider-Man's just in the city, he bumps into these different characters, and I think that's what they did super well. Feels like a comic book of, he's in New York City and so are all these other heroes.
That's a great way to put it. It did definitely feel like a comic book. I guess my gripe also ties in with the villain gripe, where I felt the villain was more set up for the MCU than an individual Spider-Man villain. To that point, though, they did tie it in super well, where it advanced Peter's story so well. But that's where I wanted that villain in that conclusion, where I felt like it was introduction to the X-Men,
Uh-huh.
um, which again is fine. But that was like one little gripe because the Hulk thing, I think they did really well. He was a great part of this movie, and they, in really, in my opinion, just set up for real Hulk to come back in Doomsday.
Yes, you think he's going to be in Doomsday?
I do. I think real Hulk will be back in Doomsday. The
I
only
hope
thing
so.
that like didn't make sense to me, another like nitpick, right, is that one scene at the end where it shows was on the TV Hulk getting brought to the psych ward. Like, what the
Uh-huh.
hell is the psych ward gonna do to
Exactly.
Doctor Banner if he busts out to the Hulk? You
Don't
gotta
piss
send his
him
ass
off.
to Avengers.
I would
Yeah,
send his
send
ass
his
to a
ass.
resort. Mr. Banner, anything you need, we got it. Don't even get a little bit frustrated. We got you.
That's a great point. That's a phenomenal point. So that brings me to a gripe, and I can't take credit for this. My favorite YouTuber, John Campia,
Uh-huh.
said it's his major flaw with the movie. So it's two parts to it. One, he was really mad that Spider-Man created a universal inhibitor in about 3 hours in his apartment with a 3D printer, where Dr. Banner was working on it for years and like got to that point. And in the at least in the comics, Dr. Banner is way smarter than Peter.
Yeah.
And like his counter argument was like, "You're telling me all like the top scientists, Tony's like everybody couldn't come up with something in that long." But honestly, I can get by that because he took the Hulk's work or Banner's work and did it. His major gripe, and this is a good one, he thinks Spider-Man creating the universal inhibitor breaks the MCU. So he now has a thing that can stop powers. And especially with like the X-Men, that's a huge thing in the future where it's
Mm-hmm.
the X-Men mutants and like Magneto's always trying to stop people from suppressing the mutants. And Spider-Man just made a device that can just do that. So he said it, and I think this is what they're going to do. I think they're going to forget about the universal inhibitor completely. Like, I don't think it'll ever be brought up again in the MCU because I think it
Really?
does the MCU.
What my thought process with it was that they had to create it, especially with Jean Grey in there and it being X-Men, to lead into the new X-Men saga that we're gonna get, because I think it's gonna be a crucial part of the new X-Men saga moving forward after Doomsday and everything.
I hope so. If that is the way, then it's absolutely right.
Just
Because
with
it's
trying to
just
stop everybody.
yeah, because it does like you're able to essentially stop anyone. Like
Hmm.
if you put that on Wolverine, he becomes human and you can just kill him. So
Yeah,
like that is
that's
something
crazy.
that maybe it comes into play in the future. But if it does, I hope they do it your way where like that's the main villain like concept of it. But then they're
If
all gonna look at Spider-Man like the big bad.
that's actually true. I didn't even cross my mind. Who Wolverine's like, who created this bub? And, and then, oh, Spider Man. Then
Me?
yeah, I did. If
But
not, if they don't go that way, I really hope you're right and they just forget about it.
100% because that was I didn't really think about it during the movie. He just brought it up after when I was watching his review, and I thought it was a pretty good point.
Yeah, that
But
is a good point.
besides that, I was talking about my favorite scene. Was that your favorite scene, or do you have a different favorite scene in the movie?
Yeah, no, that's definitely the standout scene for me because I love the that Spider-Man's in the MCU. Like I remember when he got announced to be in Civil War, and it was like my childhood dream come true that Spider-Man's going to be with all these different characters. So I love seeing the Punisher and Hulk like have a fight. Jean Grey there, it made me
Yeah,
so satisfied.
that is pretty sick. Some other, I guess I'll get into my favorite part of the movie, and it was Punisher. I wanted to ask you, you just binged Punisher going into this movie.
Yes,
How did this movie hit watching Punisher right before?
dude, it knocked it out of the park, and that's also why I think I'm still super high on it. I'm coming off of
Yeah.
watching The Punisher, a great show that I can't believe I never watched, and I love the Punisher's character and especially John Bernthal's portrayal. I'm not even gonna say it. Portrayal of the character.
Yeah.
He crushes it, and I can't even imagine another actor playing the Punisher now. After that, he is the perfect fit, and him and Spider-Man's chemistry was insane.
You could just tell their off-screen friendship like just bled onto the screen. Like they
Yes.
were their dynamic was so damn good. Like one of my favorite scenes was them arguing outside the boat and like just going back and forth. That was so good. And the one thing they did phenomenal in this movie because you just watched all the Punisher. He's a rated R character and they blended him perfectly into a PG-13 movie.
They did. I was scared when you told me that. Like, because I remember that was a concern of yours going into this with Punisher.
Yeah,
Are they really going to dumb him down? I think they did like the perfect mix for a PG-13 movie with Punisher.
100%. He had a did he I don't think he killed a single person in the movie.
No, not that I can recall.
No. Honestly, not many people died. Someone brought up the point. Jean Grey, like she's not really a bad guy. Like in theory, she didn't hurt anybody. Like when Punisher came in, it wasn't like kill shots to anybody. But the one person she did screw over was when she was on the street and she
Yes.
just threw the old guy into the road. He got smoked by a car. That guy might be dead.
Yeah. And that's true because she's supposed to be a hero or superhero, whatever. And
Yeah.
to do that, and she was like upset that these people killed her sister, and I don't know, it's a crazy way for her to be a quote unquote superhero.
Yeah. No, that was a funny little thing. But another scene I wanted to bring up was the MJ kissing scene. Did you realize at all that what was happening before like it got revealed?
So I had some like thoughts of it, but then it kind of just went all out the window because I was in like kind of shock how it all went down, and I wasn't paying super close attention, so it did catch me by surprise when she started talking like Jean Grey.
Because I was buying it until the moment they kissed. When they kissed, I was like, that is too easy.
Yeah.
Uh, that was too easy. And that reveal, that was evil of G, but it was a good moment. And that was one of the best scenes in the movie. The way Tom Holland acted there too was incredible.
Dude, it was like you could just feel for him so hard. Like my heart
Yeah.
was like, oh man, that's gotta hurt. And of course, it's downpouring,
Yeah.
raining. It
The
just,
lighting was sick too with the neon
yeah.
light.
It's something back to the Punisher real quick. I just thought of.
Yeah.
I love that they didn't like go super in depth with his like origin or a lot of flashbacks. It was just like if you want to know about him, go watch his previous stuff. Because sometimes I feel like when they introduce a character that's already had their own something in the past, they like still harp on his
Yeah.
origin and stuff. And I think they did like the small little hints of when MJ opened the cupboard and saw his family and he got
Mhm.
super upset. And then my one of my favorite lines that like just emotional lines from him was, do you think like I want to live like this? It's like actually torture in a prison. Like that line
Yeah.
hit. I was like, damn. That
No, that line really did hit because they did a perfect job of if you didn't watch any Punisher before this movie, you understood his character. But if
mhm.
you did watch it, it hit even harder.
Yes. They had the
And that
perfect balance.
100%. Like even that little thing, he was in the trailer when he was about to say the F word, Spidey shot his mouth. Like that's perfect. That's like the best way to do it.
Yeah, no, the one that I saw that in the trailer, I was like, that is the most Spider-Man Punisher thing like ever. I love that they did
A
that.
100%, 100%. And then that final scene of him in the hospital absolutely killed me when
Yes,
he
we
was
were both.
grunting. We both lost it because that's just perfect Punisher.
They said that.
Because me and Brandon talk about this a lot because he's a big Punisher guy. And now that you've watched it, he has the best grunts ever. And like even when he was bum rushing Hulk, like, he was like, oh, and it was just the
Yes.
best. It was the absolute best. I want more Punisher. Like I don't think he'll be in Doomsday, but I hope he is. He's not really going to be able to do anything, but I just want him in the dynamic there.
Just a cameo on the ground, he's fighting bad guys,
Yeah,
thugs or something, and just to see him on screen. I'm
a
right there
hundred
with
percent.
you. I'd love to see him in the MCU moving forward.
Because he's a top five MCU character for me.
Yeah, he's probably right up there for me after watching the movie and the shows.
Yeah. You know, so then another like great scene was that I think back to is the scene where they're all hanging out building the Legos and stuff like that. That was like peak Spider-Man for me, like just him hanging out with Ned and MJ and their dynamic. That I'm very curious where they take my actually let me jump to a scene.
Uh huh.
The ending with the handshake. What was your interpretation of that?
So my interpretation was, I don't know if it was muscle memory, and then I started thinking about Ned's. We don't know what exactly Ned is, but he's kind of special with the wizard powers.
Oh yeah,
Obviously,
I
with
forgot
the
about that.
and there's like a line in I think what was it? No Way Home, where his grandma always said he was special or something like that, and
Yeah.
then he opens the portal. I don't know. That could be something to do with it because Doctor Strange set the thing or the spell or whatever the erase everyone's memory. So I don't
Mhm.
know if like something triggered it, like especially like physical touch and doing something that you guys used to do all the time. I don't know if that brought it back or it was just straight muscle memory.
So my first thought was muscle memory. And then someone pointed this out after the movie. I guess in the scene early on when Peter's watching his videos, like posting on social media, he does that handshake. So like that's like his handshake. So I think him doing it with Peter is how does this guy know it? But then when he says his name's Peter, he puts the pieces together like Peter, and they had that chemistry before. That's what I think it ends up being.
Yeah,
But
that sounds the most realistic.
I think within the next Spider-Man movie, when they jump to the next one, I don't think he'll be dating MJ yet, but I think him and Ned will be best friends again. They'll be already established. Like maybe they do like a funny flashback to when he told him everything, but I think they'll be at a good point in the movie.
Yeah, no, that would be really cool to do it. And something that I just thought about because you said when he's dating MJ, do you think Spider-Man takes a turn to like know we know in like the comic books and even in Amazing Spider-Man 2, Mary Jane always isn't his girlfriend. Do you think now it opens up room for like a Black Cat or Gwen Stacy or somebody to like be a new love interest?
It would be the perfect time to do it, where they establish like MJ puts him in the friend zone and is like, "We'll just be friends," and then another love interest appears. I think that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, I
And then
think
he has to fight the dynamic of, does he go after this new love interest, or does he fight for MJ to like win her over?
yeah, and I think that would be like another very humanized Spider-Man dilemma like that we
A
saw in
hundred
this
percent,
movie.
100%. Those that was something. The Another quick shout out, the cop character, she was great in the movie.
Yes.
She, she was really good. I know her from a show, The Bear. I really like her now, so I'm glad she's getting a role. For a split second, I was like, are they doing some sort of Miles Morales thing with like her kid being it? But then they showed the kid, so it's not. But I thought about it for a second.
Yeah, that would have been because I didn't even pick up on that. I was watching somebody review it or a podcast on it or something, and they mentioned thinking it could have been Miles Morales because of like the Puerto Rican and
Yeah,
a cop could have and has kids, and it could have been that. That would have been like a cool little Easter egg.
that would have been really cool. I guess I didn't pick up on this. Wait, did you play the Spider-Man games?
No, I haven't somehow.
That is the biggest travesty you've ever committed, Peyton. Like
I
those
I know. I
those
literally can't
games
believe it.
are peak Spider-Man. You got to go buy them like this week and start ripping them.
I
But I
thought about
guess
it.
you should. No, you really should, because the story's incredible. But I guess that character I think it's a guy in the video games, and it's that exact character. So that's pretty cool. And I think someone said they had exact lines from the video game that they put in the movie, which is pretty cool.
Oh, no way. That is really
Yeah.
cool. And I heard a lot of people mention that they got a lot of inspiration from the games with like just some of the like the web shooting, slinging, fighting. And I think I even heard Tom say they used like a finishing move from the game.
I believe it. Again, that should be your number one priority. You gotta play the game, because it is, you're gonna get. I already know you're gonna get absolutely hooked.
Oh
Where
yeah, dude, that's why I'm scared to do it because I know I'm not gonna get off until I beat 1 and 2.
yeah, there's so much fun. But that was like a nice, cool little thing. Do you have any other standouts before talk future post credit that thing?
Oh, I love the little was it like the little recap of what Spider-Man's been doing for the past 4 years. It just felt
Mhm.
very Spider-Man. I think it was a really cool way to show Spider-Man's like universe with just all these characters that we haven't seen on screen in a big movie live action yet, but just like a quick little tease, and it just shows he's really been hustling and grinding as Spider-Man, and just a cool way to show his world.
That is true. Something your brother mentioned to me, he had a gripe with the way they handled Scorpion, where he's kind of like this big villain and he's kind of barely in the movie. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that kind of bothered me a little bit. I think the villains, like you said, is the only issue with the movie, and it's like if I get really nitpicky, because I really still enjoyed it and loved the movie, and I can't wait to rewatch it. To be honest with you,
Mhm.
but because half the time Scorpion was in the movie, it wasn't even him, his
Yeah.
thoughts or like his motive to do something. And of course, the one was just a quick snapshot of the recap of what Spider Man's been doing. And then the second one was a great fight, and especially really cool to see Spider Man like snap into full spider mode and just
Mhm.
completely lose his cool, because you never see Spider Man like lose his cool and just go crazy. The
No, that is
fights
true.
with Scorpion when he was on screen was great. There just wasn't a lot of it.
Yeah. No, I feel that way as well. And in reality, Scorpion's not like this big, big bad, but he was teased all the way back in the end of Homecoming. So I was like, I was waiting. I wanted to. I guess my biggest gripe to your point is the great fight scene we got with Scorpion wasn't even Scorpion. It was Jean Grey
Yes,
as Scorpion. So like if it was him, I might even be more satisfied.
this just made me think of something. when you said Scorpion way back got teased, dude, I can remember specifically. If unless I'm going crazy, in the trailer there was a part where Spider-Man and Scorpion are on a roof, and Scorpion swings his tail, and like Spider-Man ducks underneath it, and that did not happen in the movie.
I'll be honest, I don't remember it, but I do believe you because I know there was a lot of things cut from the trailers and even shooting the movie that didn't make the movie.
I didn't think about that literally until just now, but I could have swore I saw that.
Yeah, there was a couple of things I remember seeing that got cut. There was the one Scorpion shot. Something they did. I saw like a edit of it. Is the amount of shots in the movie they stole directly from comic covers. I thought
Mm-hmm.
was sick. Oh, that
Yes,
too. Like that was real. That was a really nice touch.
I love that touch.
Yeah. So getting into the post credit scene, one not super satisfying for waiting through all those credits.
No,
I probably would have liked something a little more, a little
watch it on
tease to
YouTube at
Doomsday.
home. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That I was, and like, if you're gonna give us that one, give us in the mid credits. Like, give it after like the final thing. You don't have to sit through the whole scroll.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
but I guess what is your interpretation of that final post credit scene? I know after the movie we talked about a couple things, but
Oh, at first I was just thinking it has to be something obviously with Doomsday, but the more I listened to stuff, I wasn't super familiar what happens in Secret Wars until you kind of filled me in, gave me just a quick idea of what to expect moving forward with the Avengers and Secret Wars and Doomsday. So where I'm leaning is I don't think he'll be in Doomsday, but I think he'll be in Secret Wars. Like I think that's what you told me, and I think that's 100% right.
yeah, because my initial interpretation of it was that's Toby Maguire or that's Andrew Garfield, and it's on a different planet. But
Hmm.
after sitting with it more, I do think it has to do with Secret Wars and him being on Battle World, the new planet that Doom creates. Um, and I don't think he's going to be in Doomsday. I think he's going to be in the post-credit scene of Doomsday. If I had to make a prediction,
I bet you're 100% right. That would be a
yeah.
great way to do it. Just imagine how hyped and amped up you're going to be walking out of Doomsday, watching that post credit scene, knowing Spider Man's coming in this next movie.
Yeah, because my prediction, like this is not spoilers or anything. I've been avoiding. Again, beware. I guess the whole Doomsday script is leaked online. I haven't seen anything of it,
Oh, I'm going to
but
avoid that like the plague.
yeah. But I think just based off the comics, I think Doomsday is going to end with Battle World being created. So Doom destroys all the planets, and I think the post credit scene is going to be Spider-Man like waking up or like being like, "Where am I?" and he's on Battle World, something like that.
That would be so cool. And
Yeah, I think that'd be a great way to do it.
something that I wanted to talk to you about that we didn't mention yet was the like when he breaks into damage control to go get Jean Grey. What did you think of like the whole? And I know you said it was a little disappointing. It wasn't like the most satisfying thing in the world. But what did you think of like what we did see on screen?
You're talking like that last action scene with the
Yes.
hand. That was a phenomenal action scene. Like the most Spider-Man thing, my favorite part of that scene is when he kicked the one ninja into the sharp pole and was about to stab him, and then he stops him. Like that is Spider-Man to a T, which I really loved. And like that whole dynamic. That fight scene was great. The whole Jean Grey, and I love that Punisher pulled out a sniper rifle because that's exactly what he would do. But
Yes.
that whole action scene was great, but like he got shot and then it was Gene got away. No one knows what happens to damage control guy. That's where I felt a little unsatisfied.
Yeah, because like when you can think back of pretty much every Spider-Man movie, it's always a big fight against the main villain, and Spider-Man's most of the time always getting whooped, like, and it's down
Yes.
bad, and then he
Yep.
bounces back, and most of the time they die right then and there. When I think
True.
back to a lot of the movies, so I understand where you're coming from with like it wasn't satisfying. Everybody gets away.
Yeah, yeah. I needed a little more. That's where, because I didn't want him to kill Jean Grey. Like I didn't want her to die, and yeah, I wanted the damage control guy to die, but like it wasn't like for Spider Man. Like I wasn't like Spider Man's got to get this guy. It was more Jean Grey dealing with that guy. So it's like I needed that one him to because even when he was fighting the hand, I don't really care about the hand, Like if
Yeah.
he beats him, I wanted him that. It's kind of iconic for Spider-Man, him getting his ass beat and then to overcome it and beat that final guy. That's the one little thing I was missing. So I guess they did something different, which is nice. But the old school classic Spider-Man fan of me wanted that satisfaction.
Yeah, like I just love the scenes where Tobey Maguire's
Yeah.
got one eye, like mask
He's
ripped,
bleeding.
bleeding, cuts all over his chest. Like that was every Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie, and I loved it every time.
Every single time. You knew he wasn't going to die.
Yeah.
And, but you still believed for a second, like, holy shit, he might get his ass beat.
Did you realize? I didn't realize this at first until I saw something that the island that they were on was the main fight of Green Goblin and Spider-Man 1, Roosevelt
Oh, was it
Island.
really?
Yeah, that's the island where uh Green Goblin drags him and throws him through like the brick buildings where Green Goblin ends up dying.
No, that's sick. That's actually that's a great little reference. I didn't pick up on that.
No, me either until I saw something. I was like, wow, that's really cool that they did that. Like the end thing was right there on Roosevelt Island. And even to
No,
the Punisher with the sniper. Because have you ever seen the first comic book where Punisher's introduced with Spider-Man?
no, I haven't.
The comic book cover is Punisher looking through a sniper scope with Spider-Man in it.
No way.
Yeah, you almost got to pull it up real quick and look at it because it's like that makes that end part even cooler. And I personally really like the hand fight, especially seeing Spider-Man kind of get whooped a little bit. Thinking back
Yeah,
to it, he did get a little bit of a beating, but not like the beating we're used to seeing him take. And then for him to rip that inhibitor chip off and go full spider mode and just absolutely start whooping some ass was awesome.
that is awesome. I just looked at that cover and that is sick. That's such a cool callback. There was also the iconic shot I know in the comics when Spider-Man dies of Punisher carrying him, and we got that
Oh,
too.
I didn't know
Uh,
that.
yeah,
That's
so
even
like when
cooler.
Spider-Man actually dies, there's that exact scene of Punisher carrying him in, which I thought was sick.
I feel like this movie is literally a 2026 you're watching a comic book.
1,000,000%.
I've
That's the
ne-
best way to put it.
I've never felt like that in a movie where it felt so close to like a comic book, as close as you could get in watching it in a movie form.
No, that is like I the way it's sitting with me, it was just it's such a good time. Like that's the number one takeaway I have when I think of the movie. I was like, that was just a great time at the movies. It wasn't
Yes.
like like there's not like specific scenes that I'm gonna be watching on YouTube like in
Yeah.
10 years that like I gotta see all there's a couple of them, like the Hulk thing I'll probably watch and stuff like that. But the movie was just a great time. And Spider-Man just hits like he is the most likable character in all of superheroes, in my opinion, and the most relatable. To your point earlier,
Yeah, he's got to be the number one pick if you just went out to whether it's girls, young kids, adults, who's your favorite superhero, you'd probably get Spider-Man most of the time.
100%, 100%. Um, looking through my notes, that's everything I had, unless there's anything else. I'm just trying to think.
I want to ask you, where does this movie sit compared to the Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies and then just Spider-Man in general?
So, deep thought I had thinking about it. So, No Way Home's still my favorite out of the Tom Holland.
Uh-huh.
I was debating between this and Homecoming because I really liked Homecoming. Something you said earlier that I think I realize now why I like Homecoming so much is my favorite MCU character is Iron Man, and it was like an Iron Man Jr. movie, so maybe that's why I loved it so much.
That makes
Uh,
sense.
um, as of now, I still have Homecoming 2 and this 3, but I have to rewatch this one more time, and I could easily see this jumping to 2, and then I have Far From Home last. Where does it rank for you?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Before yesterday, I would have probably thought you were crazy for having Homecoming that high in the Tom Holland lineup, but it's a really good movie. But for
My
me, or go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say my other favorite scene in that movie that I love every single time is when he's yelling at the Iron Man suit. He's like, "You're not even here right now," and Tony just gets out. I
Yes,
love that scene. That scene's so cool.
because he messes with him earlier and he's not even
Yeah.
there. It opens up. That was a great way to do that. For me, I'm trying to think, dude. I've been battling back and forth. I really need to rewatch. I want to watch No Way Home right before I go to the movies again and watch Brand New Day and really depict which one is my favorite. Right now, I
Hmm.
think No Way Home for the nostalgia and everything, the iconic villains is my number one for Tom Holland, and this is right behind it.
Mm.
And it would then probably Homecoming and then no or Far From Home.
So with that, where does it jump into your all-time top five? Does it crack your top five Spider-Man movies of all time? And it's hard on just one watch because you've watched the other ones countless times, but does it crack that top five?
Yes, no doubt,
Yeah. Mm.
not a doubt in my mind. It cracks the top five.
It's close for me. Like this and Spider-Man 3. I
Really, that's actually both. I like Spider-Man 3, but that's both.
I know, no, I think I'm in the minority.
And I
I think
like
I'm
that
in the
movie a
heavy
lot.
minority.
I'll have your back, but damn.
Something. I think I gotta watch it again because if I were to give Spider-Man a score out of 10, it's a 7. In this, I gave it 8. But it's that nostalgia just weighs so heavy for me
Yeah,
that
put some
I'll
dirt in your eye.
exactly. I'll have to go back. And the reason like this won't ever top No Way Home doesn't have anything to do with the Spider-Man being in it. It has to do with one character and one character alone, and that's Green Goblin. Like I was rewatching clips from that movie, and he is just so goddamn good in that movie. That whole apartment scene is like some of the best villain acting I've ever seen in my life. So that's why that won't ever get topped by Brand New Day because that villain aspect is just so much superior in No Way Home for me.
Yeah, no, I completely get that. I don't think anybody would ever knock you for that because
Mhm.
those villains are just so iconic, especially William Dafoe crushes it as Green Goblin. He's arguably probably he's for sure in the top three of actors that played a villain in a movie.
Mhm.
He's got to be. He crushes it, and he proved it in the second one. I love that, like, he didn't
Yeah.
miss a fucking beat in 20 years. Like,
No, he got
right
even
back
better.
to it. Exactly. And that just like shows how great of an actor this guy truly is.
100%. So I got one final question before we sign off.
Hmm.
You're writing Spider-Man 5. What villain would you want to have in that movie? And obviously, this is going to take place after Doomsday and Secret Wars, so there's going to be a lot that changes. But let's just say after Secret Wars, it's a blank slate. What would you want Spider-Man 5? Who would you want to be the villain?
Shit, that is such a great question. There are so many like great villains. I feel like the greatest ones or we've already seen them on screen.
Mhm.
I'm battling between three in my head right now.
I have 3 as well.
I we've already gotten one of them, but not with Tom Holland and not the greatest portrayal. Venom.
That was my 1-1. I have Venom. It would be my most desired.
Oh, number I'm gonna tie these two together, Carnage and Venom, like in a Spider-Man.
Okay.
I would love to see them both at the same time with Spider-Man because I always thought Carnage was cooler because my favorite color was red, and he was like a even crazier version of Venom. So I'm
Yeah.
just use that as just one spot. I'd love to see both of them. Another one would be Hobgoblin. I would really want to
Mm.
see a cool Hobgoblin. I know it's very similar to the Green Goblin. I just always thought he was super cool in this animated Spider-Man show I would watch. So I would like to see him. And my third one would probably be shit actually. It's either Craven or Chameleon. I'm
Mm.
between those two.
Gotcha. So my one would be Venom.
Uh-huh.
I think that'd be a great introduction. I think we might get a little Venom action or symbiote in Secret Wars.
Yes, we better.
Number 2, I would have Craven. I think a good Craven could be so elite in this movie and like him hunting down Spider-Man. I think that
Yes.
could be great. And then number 3, I honestly don't want him as the villain, but I want him in the movie. I want Harry Osborn to be introduced. I want Harry and Norman to be in the universe established. Like he meets Harry, becomes friends with him, and Norman may not be Green Goblin yet, but he's up to some shady shit. That's what I
Yes,
would love to see in the next one.
if they did that and even had Harry be Hobgoblin, because
Hmm.
in like some of the comics, I guess I haven't read them, but just what I've seen in the animated Spider-Man show, they had it be like one of Spider-Man's like close friend group that was him, or
Yeah.
even in the comics, I think it was actually Ned. I don't think it'll be this Ned. I really hope not. It'd be kind of corny having this Ned as Hobgoblin.
There was a lot of rumors that he was going to be Hobgoblin in this movie. Uh, and honestly, him not knowing him was the time to do it, but they didn't.
Yeah, I think Craven would be fantastic. Actually, the more I think about it,
Yeah,
having
something I talked about. Sorry, side note.
no, you're good.
Was they should have had Harry Osborn dating MJ in this movie. That guy should have been Harry Osborn. That would have been the perfect way to introduce him. He's at MIT with them. He's dating MJ, and then in the next movie, Spider-Man gets introduced through MJ. This is my ex-boyfriend Harry, and they have that friendship, but also that beef because we kind of got that in Tobey Maguire's with MJ, where they're
Yeah,
fighting over her. And I think that could be such a good dynamic. They should have done it. Maybe this guy is. I don't think he is, but that would be a perfect way to do it. And then say Harry or Norman becomes friends with not Norman. Peter becomes friends with Harry, and he's like, "I can get you a job at my dad's company." That's when you introduce Oscorp, and
dude,
then that just sign me up. You know, Marvel. I'm cheap.
call
I
Feige
don't
right
know.
now.
I think that would be a perfect way to introduce
Dude,
him.
I'm actually jealous. I was sitting here just like locked in. I'm like, oh my god, why didn't they do that? That
Yeah,
would be perfect.
that
Literally
would be
perfect. I'm in
that would
this.
be.
This is just a little thing based on what you were just saying with the Spider-Man's or MJ's boyfriend. Dude, I thought I could have swore to God I thought that was Flash Thompson. I literally can't remember what he looks like. I don't you just see him for 1 second walk by? Or am I
The
tripping?
boyfriend,
Yeah.
he is similar ethnicity. I'll say
Dude, I saw it in the trailer, or remember, wasn't he in the trailer too? The boyfriend, I think.
Yeah, he was. He was.
I thought it was Flash Thompson then. Watched it in the movie, thought it was Flash Thompson again, and then I heard reviews and they were saying nobody knows who Jay's boyfriend is. I was like, we don't. I could have swore Flash Thompson.
No, I'm surprised he wasn't in the movie at all. They just had that little cut to his picture,
Yeah,
but that just made me think too. Some someone missing from the movie, J. Jonah Jameson, easily could have been in the movie. They had some news clips talking about Spider-Man, or even in the hospital when he was at the end. It could have been like a great little like we want Spider-Man to pull through, like even though he hates him, like he's like kind of rooting for him. Those little things I think would have been perfect because
just
we haven't
because.
got any Tom Holland like photos working at the Daily Bugle.
Yeah, actually, we had. Oh, this is. I'm so glad you said that. I have a point that I really wanted to bring up, and you just made me remember it. But back to what you were saying, real quick. There would have been so many good chances to just have him in the
Mm-hmm.
movie as a cameo, like we've seen in No Way Home. And another point, you're right. I can't believe we haven't seen him at the Daily Bugle. Like that was such a
Yeah,
key component of Spider-Man in the Raimi movies. Like the Bugle was
100%. Because it
like
works
his
out
whole
too. Because
life.
like, where is Spider-Man getting money right now? Like, obviously, he could probably get money however he wanted, but like that was like the dynamic of he's broke, living in this little apartment. He needs to work at the Daily Bugle, sell pictures of himself so he can get enough money to just live.
Exactly. And that makes him even feel more human and even more relatable. So I
Hmm.
do wish I hope we see that later on in just the Spider-Man movies going forward, but I don't know if they will do it. Only reason if they can't get J.K. Simmons to do it, I don't think you add the Daily Bugle anymore because I don't think you ruin it.
I agree. I don't want to see it if it's not him.
My and this was the point I wanted to make. My biggest gripe with the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, they never show spider sense. They never
Mm.
show it going off. Thinking back to every Spider-Man movie of the Tom Hollands, there's never a time really where it shows like spider sense going off and him realizing something bad's about to happen that I can think of.
There's one I can think of, and it's not in a Spider-Man movie. It's in Infinity War when he's on the bus and the spaceship comes down to New York and you see his arm hairs go up and he's on the bus.
You're right.
That's the only time I can think of, though. That is a good point because in every movie, you're right. You see that specific moment.
Because even the animated Spider-Man show that I watched, it's like Spider Sense. They always had a way of depicting when he's
Mhm.
sensing something, and that's just something that kind of bothers me about the Tom Holland movies. That Spider-Man, they don't ever show that.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. That is a really good point. But so overall, those are our thoughts on Spider-Man. Brand new day. Peyton absolutely loved it. I really liked it. Let us know
Hmm.
what you think of our little theories, our predictions on the future. What was your interpretation of some of those scenes we decided? And then where does this movie rank among all your Spider-Man movies? I'd love to know in the comments below.
Yeah, I'm very curious to hear that.
All right. We'll see you hopefully next week. I don't know what content we're going to be coming with, but we'll come with something good. I can promise you that.
Yes,
And
sir.
thank you guys for watching. See ya.